Good morning, traders. Good morning to you. This is Ashley Reeve here with the opening bells. Good to be with you. Before we get going, remember, guys, the information we discuss in this video is opinion. Please don't construe this as advice in any way. Let's push forward this morning then with some information on the FOMC, or at least what was decided. Once again, to the guys that are joining us here for the very first time, it is an absolute pleasure being with you. I will be sharing some mediums or at least channels of communication for you to open up an account with us if you don't have one already. All right, so let's get straight into it. With regards to the Federal Reserve this morning, they're definitely driving the bus. Almost every major market move we're seeing right now traces back to the question, will the interest rates stay higher or longer? And yesterday, the Fed gave markets a reminder that inflation is not dead yet. The first place we saw that reaction was in the US dollar. And so the dollar surged because traders are beginning to price in the possibility that rates may actually move higher again. Remember, money tends to flow toward higher returns. And if the US rates rise, global capital moves toward dollar-denominated assets, creating demand for the USD, and that's why the dollar strengthened. Now, whenever the dollar strengthens, it creates pressure elsewhere. Look at the Australian dollar. We're seeing that the Aussie is sitting near 2-month lows. Why? And it's not because the Australian it's not because Australia is weak. In fact, the Reserve Bank of Australia is still talking tough on inflation. The problem is that right now the US dollar is simply stronger. Think of it like a tug of war, right? Australia is pulling, but America is pulling even harder. So all we saw here was price really pushing up. We had a correction to the downside. It doesn't mean it's sustained. It doesn't mean that, all right? Price, or at least FX, tends to finish, certain levels and respect it. This for now is a higher low. That's a higher low. And only if price breaks this area does it mean this is invalid, all right? Which means that there is a possible continuation of a bearish movement to the downside. But right now, this entire structure is still bullish. We have the high, we have the higher low, and we're waiting to see what happens after that. All right. What we also are seeing here is gold. Very important one here for many of the traders with us. Gold is trying to bounce back, but it's trapped between these two powerful forces. On the one side, Iran situation appears to be coming down. Historically, when geopolitical fears decrease, demand for the safe havens like gold often decreases, And on the other side, the higher U.S. interest rates expectations continue to weigh on gold. And so then, gold doesn't pay any interest, which is a useful fact for the traders. So when bond yields rise, investors suddenly have alternatives that do pay interest, and that often pulls money away from gold, all right? The yields are important here, guys. It's elevated around 4.46%. Many traders do underestimate this market. It is definitely the heartbeat of the financial system as far as the dollar is concerned. When the yields rise, borrowing becomes more expensive. Stocks face pressure. The dollar often strengthens, and obviously gold often struggles. So if you want to know where the markets may go next, watch the bond market closely. It often speaks before everyone else does. So, intraday, from a technical standpoint, we can see the gold elevated up there. It's now created a low. And so this now is a higher low at this point. Price can still come down further for a second one, which is a lower low, meaning that this is just a structural and deeper movement to the downside. It doesn't mean the dollar strengthens all the way down now from where it is now, all right? Doesn't mean we're going all the way down. Right now, we have to wait. We have to see what happens. At this point in time, it's stuck. We need to see whether it pushes below this support or it pushes above that high. Then we'll have a much better indication, all right? Now, let's maybe just quickly go to the stocks here, guys. The stock market is currently standing between two stories. And so the story number one is the Middle East situation. And we're seeing that it appears to be improving, as I mentioned in the beginning, which is positive for global trade and oil supply. We can see the oil has really come down. Look at that, at $77 a barrel. And story number two is higher interest rates remain a threat to the risk assets. And so the market is then trying to decide which story matters more. And right now, the rates are winning. So what's the big picture here, Ash? All right, if I had to summarize today's market in one sentence. All right, the world is really talking about peace, but traders are trading the interest rates. So watch the US dollar. You can watch the DXY, the DXY. You can watch the Euro USD. You can also watch the bond yields. Watch that charts there. Watch the gold and watch any Fed speakers, because until inflation clearly falls, every market is likely to continue orbiting around one central force, and that is the Reserve Bank. So we're seeing a slightly stronger dollar this morning, but it does not mean that it's going to be sustained, especially when you look at the FX pairs. We have seen the GBP USD go down tremendously. Like I said, AUD USD has gone down, Euro USD has gone down, but it is still within the structures that we have put in place. It needs to break those structures first before we have anything. And then maybe just something on the BTC for the guys that are trading crypto. We have obviously surpassed, and we've gone to the areas that we had chatted about. That was at the 59,000 USD per coin. We've touched it, and we've now seen a correction on that. If you go to a much higher time frame, you can see that we are still in that correction. And guys, if we do see the dollar weakening, we're going to see obviously some movement possibly to the upside here. If the dollar strengthens, we could see it come back to these highs here, which is very low. That is 2021 areas that we actually refer. That's the highs of 2021. We're already there. We already actually touched it. So let's see if this provides support. It did provide support in 2024. We saw price really surge and rally to the upside. Let's see if it does it again now, or do we go a little bit further down? I can only imagine when it does come down, what type of money will come into BTC. So let's see how it goes, guys. But this morning, slightly stronger dollar. Remember, we're looking at the fractional move of the market. I'm not referring to next week. I'm simply here this week. That's it. That's all that Ash is looking at this morning. We'll have an update for you tomorrow, guys. What an absolute pleasure. King, I see you there. Adu Melan. I hope you're okay there on your side as well. Sammy, I see you there. A very good morning. All right. Have a fantastic one, guys. We do have a trading room at 2 o'clock this afternoon. And obviously, we have some announcements. It's coming. I know that you guys should definitely stay tuned for more. But we'll see you very soon. I'm Ashley Reeve. And guys, for all the folks that have not opened that account with us, there we go. As mentioned, www.tdmarkets.com. You can also email our support team at care@tdmarkets.com. What a fantastic day. Have a wonderful, wonderful Thursday. And we'll see you guys again. Ashley Reeve signing out. Ciao, ciao.